The Raspberry Pi 3A Plus packs most of the specs of the Pi 3B Plus into a more compact, even cheaper board. The tiny computer is a massive upgrade over the existing A Plus, which was based on the same single-core system on a chip as the first generation Pi, released way back in 2012. Like the original, the new A Plus is a single-board computer designed to be built into homemade hardware, thanks to its small size and low power consumption. Despite the very noticeable bump to its specs, the price of the board remains the same as the existing A Plus, just $25. As you can see, the A Plus is noticeably shorter than the B Plus, giving it a more compact, square shape. The squash size of the A Plus is made possible by removing the Ethernet port and by only supporting a single USB port. Otherwise, the specs of the two boards are almost identical, with the only other major difference being the A Plus has half the memory of the B Plus. Size-wise, the A Plus is 65mm by 56.5mm, the same size as the first generation Raspberry Pi A Plus, and that's compared to the B Plus's 85.6mm by 56.5mm. This is the underside of the Pi 3A Plus, sporting the board's RAM and the SD card reader. Like the Raspberry Pi 3B Plus, the A Plus runs on the Broadcom BCM2837B0, which is a quad-core ARM Cortex A53-based processor running at 1.4 GHz. Wireless connectivity is also identical to the Pi 3B Plus, with the A Plus offering dual-band 802.11ac Wi-Fi and Bluetooth 4.2, as well as the same wireless antenna which is hidden inside this Raspberry Pi branded tin. The Pi 3A Plus offers one full-size HDMI 1.3 port, which should work well with 1080p monitors and TVs, as well as a micro USB connector for power and a 4-pole stereo audio output and composite video jack. While only having a single USB 2.0 port may seem limiting, mouse and keyboard can also be connected via Bluetooth, and keeping the ports down helps lower the A Plus's power consumption compared to the B Plus. Here you can see the chip for the A Plus's onboard RAM. With only 512 MB compared to 1 GB on the Pi 3B Plus, this is probably the biggest difference between the two boards. If you're looking to use the Pi as a desktop PC, the constrained memory will likely cause the Pi to struggle, especially once you've got a few programs open. However, for those who work mainly in the command line and use the Pi to run software as part of a larger system, say as a control unit on the robot, this memory may be plenty. Like the Pi 3B Plus, the A Plus also sports a 40-pin general-purpose input-output header for hooking up other boards, sensors, motors, and homemade hardware to the Pi. While there are other options for storage, the A Plus typically boots from and stores data on a micro SD card that slots into the reader seen here. If you're looking for alternate forms of storage, the Raspberry Pi Foundation says the Pi 3A Plus offers improved mass storage booting compared to the B Plus. Useful for hooking up small LCD screens to the Pi so it can be used on the move, the usual DSI connector found on Pi boards is also present on the A Plus. While the A Plus is shorter, both the B Plus and the A Plus are the same width, as you can see here. Another advantage over the B Plus, according to the Raspberry Pi Foundation, is better thermal management, suggesting lower running temperatures and less throttling of the processor when it's under heavy load.